Works for TMG at Maui Memorial Medical Center. TMG's called it.
At Maui
Memorial, yeah. So TMG's a group of anesthesiologists.
Did you guys drive here today?
Yeah.
Which is your car?
It's a Nissan Rogue.
Do you remember the license plate? If not, that's okay.
It's not our car. We live on the island.
What color is it? The Nissan?
It's like black or it's gray. It's gray. Can someone just wet my mouth? Go wet paper towel or something. My mouth feels really gross. I don't have any more hearing, so sorry, I know. No, you're an angel. We can try to stop the bleeding until they get here.
What was Gerhardt wearing today?
Wearing like a light gray shirt and like dark blue or light blue shorts, like athletic shorts. Thank you. So that's all I needed.
How tall is he?
5'9". Yes, sir.
About how much does he weigh?
160.
60. What kind of hair does he have? Short or?
Short brown. It's not super cropped. It's like a little longer on the top. No, he has a good one.
Yeah. Does he have facial hair?
No.
Husband, wife.
Okay, we can take that down. Officer, that's a fair and accurate depiction of Ms. Konig's level of consciousness when you're interacting with her a few minutes after you got the call, yes?
Yes.
On the morning of March 24th, 2025, Arielle Konig woke up to a handwritten birthday card from her husband. She read it and cried. "I felt hopeful," she later told the jury. "I thought this was going to be the start of the next chapter for us. It was a new chapter, just not the one she expected." Arielle was 36 years old that day, a nuclear engineer, a mother of 2 boys, ages 3 and 5. Her husband, Gerhardt Konig, was 47, an anesthesiologist, a man trained to calculate exact doses, to know precisely how much it takes to put a body under. He had already searched the internet for difficult hikes on Oahu. He had already identified a trail with a drop described as very unforgiving. He had already made a dinner reservation for that evening, a reservation that would be marked as a no-show. The Pali Puka Trail sits on the edge of the Nu'uanu Pali Lookout on Oahu. It is short, it is scenic, and along most of its path there is a cliff that drops several hundred feet. Gerhardt chose this trail. Arielle had never been on it before. According to her testimony, Gerhardt asked her to take a selfie near the edge of the cliff. She said no. He grabbed her arm. She threw herself to the ground, grabbing onto trees and shrubs, anything to stop moving toward the edge. Then he picked up a lava rock and hit her in the head. She said he hit her 10 times. 2 nurses heard her screaming. Amanda Morris and Sarah Buxbaum were just beginning their hike when they ran toward the sound. What they saw was a man standing near the cliff edge holding a rock, and a woman crawling toward them on her hands and knees. One of the nurses later told the jury the man had a cold look in his eyes. Now here is the detail that changes everything. While his wife was being helped down the trail by strangers, Gerhardt Konig picked up his phone and FaceTimed his 19-year-old son, Emil. He was covered in blood. His son testified in court that his father told him he tried to kill her, that he would not be making it back to Maui. His own son, on a FaceTime call, minutes after the attack. Gerhardt later claimed on the stand that Emil misunderstood him, that he was contemplating suicide, not confessing to attempted murder. The prosecution had a different word for it. They called it a confession.
Kind of last second was made the decision to call Emil just to say goodbye.
Okay. So this incident happens. You talked about the emotional state you were in. Did you believe your marriage was over?
Yes.
Did you believe, you heard her yelling to the other people that he's trying to kill me?
Yes.
You saw how bloody she was?
Yes.
Did you believe that your career could be over?
Yes.
Okay. Did you, you became suicidal. Who's the one person in the world you wanted to call?
My son Emil.
Before you jumped?
Yes.
Okay. Were you in a a good state of mind when you made that call?
No.
How do you feel about the fact that you put him in that position and made that call to him?
So many feelings because he saved my life that day.
How so? Convinced you not to jump?
He saved my life that day, but
This is where it gets psychological. Gerhardt Konig made a decision that very few defendants make. He took the stand in his own defense. It is a high-risk move. It opens you to cross-examination. It puts your credibility directly in front of the jury. And when you watch what happened on that stand, you start to understand why his story does not hold together.
Ari says, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something. I'm working on this project with Jeff Miller, and I'm gonna need to travel with him again, and I need you to be okay with that. Is that okay?"
And so she was kind of telling you like, hey, there's just things at work going on. I need you to be okay with this. And asking you to trust her.
Yes.
Okay. And again, you mentioned you guys weren't talking about the affair at home anymore because of counseling, correct?
That's correct.
And you guys weren't talking about it in counseling a lot at that time?
We hadn't gotten to
That.
kind of the core of it yet.
So she brings this up. What is your reaction to it?
I'm very surprised, yeah.
Were you upset and angry?
I wasn't angry. I was surprised and upset, and I told her no. Like I'm not okay with that. And not only am I not okay with that, like I'm never going to be okay with that. Like,
Notice what Gerhardt is describing here. He says this argument happened on the trail that morning. On the same day, he had already researched the hike, already booked the restaurant, already signed the life insurance papers. The prosecution's entire case lived in that sequence.
we haven't dealt with that part. Like the only reason why I was okay with her still even working there is because we had placed these limits on their communication. But in my mind, like she still needed at some point to quit her job, and this was only put on hold while we were trying to deal with all these other things. She basically said like, well, I can't quit my job right now because I don't even know if I want to stay with you. So we were dealing with like the issues that she brought up first, but it's not like any of the affair had been resolved at all. Like it had just kind of been put on hold. And so
How did you feel that she would even think that this would even be okay?
yeah, I mean, it made me realize that we were just not on the same page at all in terms of, like, here I am just kind of like sublimating my feelings and focusing on her hurt and waiting patiently for her to do the same to me. And this made me feel like she wasn't intending on doing that ever.
So what did you say back to her? Were you guys kind of arguing about it?
Yeah, we were for sure arguing.
Okay, and then so what did you say anything to her?
I just said,
moving out?
yeah, I said like I need you to move out. Like this has gone far enough. I need you to move out, and I'm going to tell people why you're moving out, and I'm going to show them what you did.
He is telling the jury that after a violent argument, after he threatened to expose her, she then suggested a selfie at the cliff edge that she had previously said made her uncomfortable. The prosecution called this impossible to believe. The jury had to decide which version of Arielle Konig they were watching.
That was her idea.
Yes,
Okay. Did you guys take one?
we did.
And what happened after that?
Right after the selfie, I just remember kind of staying at the edge there and looking over the edge and just kind of still in thought about everything that had just happened and what's going on. And then I felt like a shove,
Okay.
and I was almost pushed over the edge.
Okay. You felt a shove. Okay. Who shoved you?
Ari did.
What did you do right after?
This is the psychological pattern that Gerhardt himself discovered on a Reddit forum. DARVO. Deny, Attack, reverse victim and offender. He found that term while trying to understand what Arielle was doing to him, and then in court, in his own testimony, he demonstrated it perfectly. She started it. She grabbed him. She hit him first. She pushed him toward the cliff. 2 nurses who had never met either of them watched a man standing over a woman hitting her with a rock. They testified to that under oath.
Did you ever, in the course of this whole thing you described so far, ever try to pull her towards, push her off, or drag her towards the cliff's edge?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you guys you're on the ground. She's kind of holding on to you. You guys are. Would you just kind of like a scuffle going on?
Yes.
Okay. And her legs wrapped around you.
Yes.
You mentioned we got right up to the point where you said she grabbed your testicles. Is that right?
Yes.
How hard did she grab it?
I mean, this was, yeah, like,
Pretty hard.
she, like, was holding on to me by my testicles, basically, like, that hard.
Okay. Did she grab it and let go, or did she grab it and hold on?
She grabbed it and held on.
Now, what happens after she does that?
Then I try to free my testicles, and so I'm, like, thrashing with and I get both hands free, and I'm trying to get her to let go of my testicles, and then she hits me with a rock on the side of the face.
Okay. She's holding on to your testicles. You're kind of focused on that, obviously, and then at some point while you're focused on that, you
And it happened all really fast.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
I'm glad you raised that up. Was this like happening slowly, where you had
it
time
all
to
happened within, like, I mean, probably less than a minute, maybe
quickly?
slightly more than a minute, but I mean, 2
I mean,
minutes or something.
yeah, but you weren't timing it.
From the moment that, like, we were on the ground and she was grabbing my testicles, was like
It happened quickly.
everything after the grabbing of the testicles happened very quickly.
Okay. And you weren't timing it or anything.
No.
This is just your estimate. Okay. So now, she's holding on to you. She's squeezing your testicles, and you kind of dealing with that. And she's on the ground, and you're kind of on top of her.
Yes.
Okay. And you said then you felt you got hit with the rock.
Yes.
Where'd you get hit?
On the left side of my face.
How many times?
She kept doing it. The first blow she landed really well, and after that I was able to block
Okay.
fairly well. She did, like, land a couple more, but not as bad as the first one.
Does she still got your testicles?
Yeah, so she's, like, holding my testicle and just, like,
Okay.
hitting me like this.
And now do you stop dealing with your
I'm
testicles?
just
and-
focused on the rock at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Did it hurt when you got hit with the rock?
you did.
Could we publish what's in evidence as Exhibit D30, Your Honor? Yes. Okay. Okay. Gerhardt, is this where you got hit with the rock?
Yes.
Is that the area?
Yes.
All right. We can take that down. Now, you get hit with the rock. Explain to the jury what happens next and why.
I was able to wrestle the rock out of her hand.
Does
After,
she still have your testicles?
yes.
Still squeezing them?
Yes.
What
And
do you do?
I was able to, like, so we're like, she's hitting me and I'm, like, blocking, and then I start, like, and I get
Is
her
there a
wrist.
scuffle over the rock?
Yes.
Is it near her face?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
it's yeah, it's
And then what
right.
happens?
And I finally get the rock.
What'd you do?
I hit her with the rock.
How many times do you think you hit her?
I hit her 2 times.
And when you did, was she still holding on to your testicles?
Yes.
At least initially?
Yes.
Why did you hit her? Why did you react that way?
Just on instinct to defend myself.
Okay. How fast was this all happening? Pretty fast?
Really fast.
Okay. In between when she hit you with the rock and in between the time she hit you with the rock and when you hit her with the rock, were you able to safely retreat and get away from her?
No.
Okay. Why not?
She was holding on to me.
Including your testicles?
Yes.
Did you hit her in the face or the eye with the rock?
No.
Where you said 2 times? Where did you hit her?
On the side of the head.
Okay. So we've seen these photos of the stellate laceration. You caused that by hitting her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you continue to hit her after those 2 hits?
No.
And why not?
Because she stopped fighting.
He acknowledged in the same testimony that his work bag, containing medications and syringes from his last shift in labor and delivery, was on that trail with them. He says he brought it by habit. He says Arielle knew about it. The prosecution argued something different, that an anesthesiologist who calculates doses for a living did not bring that bag by accident.
Did you try to poke her or stab her with any syringes?
No.
Okay. Now, Gerhardt, she scoots away. She's now with the 2 witnesses. You see a lot of blood. What do you physically do next?
I'm just in a daze, and I just kind of watch her crawl away and then leave with the other 2 hikers.
The jury deliberated for more than 8 hours. They came back not with attempted murder, but with attempted manslaughter, based on extreme mental or emotional disturbance. In Hawaii law, that distinction matters. Attempted murder means intent to kill. Attempted manslaughter under emotional disturbance means the intent was there, but his emotional state reduces the degree of culpability. Arielle sat in that courtroom with a scar on her forehead that she displayed for the jury during her testimony, a scar from a birthday hike with the man she had tried to save her marriage with. Gerhardt Konig faces up to 20 years. Sentencing is scheduled for August 13, 2026. His defense attorney has already said they plan to appeal. He has been in custody since the day he came down from that trail. The dinner reservation he made for that evening was never kept.
We, the jury in this case, finds the defendant guilty of attempted manslaughter based upon extreme mental or emotional disturbance, dated 4/8/26 by the foreperson.
Gentlemen, you can be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to call you by chair number, not by name, but by chair number, and I'm going to ask that you answer out loud either yes or no. If you agree with the verdict that was read out loud here in court, you would answer yes. If you disagree with the verdict that was read out loud in court, you would answer no. Starting with chair number 1.
Yes.
Chair 2.
Yes.
Chair 3.
Yes.
Chair number 4.
Yes.
Chair number 5.
Yes.
Chair number 6.
Yes.
Chair 7.
Yes.
Chair 8.
Yes.
Chair number 9.
Yes.
Chair 10.
Yes.
Chair number 11.
Yes.
Chair number 12.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Dr. Konig, the verdict of the jury is indeed unanimous and consistent with their verdict. The court judges you guilty of attempted manslaughter in this case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to send you back into the jury deliberation room one more time. There's a little bit more paperwork that you'll need to complete with Ms. McCowan. I will make myself available. I'll come into the jury room in about 5 minutes in case anybody has any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. You don't have to wait though. If you want to get an early head start on your commute home, you're free to do so. When you leave, in the hallways of the courthouse, the attorneys might be outside. They're always interested in hearing feedback from the jury. In addition, there's media that has covered this case. There will be members of the media out in the hallway as well. Some of them may invite you to talk about your jury experience. You're free to talk to anybody that you want to, now that your jury service is just about at an end. However, if you don't want to talk with anybody, you don't have to. And that includes me. So you don't have to wait for me to come into the jury room. If you don't want to talk to anybody, including me, you're free to leave. But before you do go, though, if I do not have a chance to speak with you, on behalf of the parties and the rest of the judiciary, thank you very much for your time and your service. We started this case, it feels like a month ago. It's been a long, long haul for all of you. It has not been easy. We never thought it was going to be easy when we started this case. We already talked about how hard a job it was going to be. And through it all, you had to endure that weather, that traffic, horrible parking conditions. Thank you very much for your flexibility, your perseverance. I hope you and your family remain safe during this weekend. Again, if I don't get to talk with you, thank you very much. You have our utmost gratitude. And like I said at the beginning of this case, and this is still true today, it has been my great honor to serve with you on this case. Thank you very much. So for the last time, into the jury deliberation room. All rise. Everyone can be seated. Consistent with the verdict in this case, the court will order the preparation of the pre-sentence investigation and report and schedule sentencing in this case on July 16th, it's a Thursday morning, counsel, at 8:30 in the morning. Do you have any objections to the setting, Mr. Barr?
Could we potentially have 1 week earlier? I know there's some time that it takes ACS to prepare the work. I'm
No,
potentially,
but I can go later.
okay, I'm potentially out of town for the last couple of weeks of July. I don't have approved travel yet, but,
Setting in August would be better though.
and I have a training on the first week of August.
I'm sorry.
I have a training on the first week of August.
So early August,
After the 7th, if that's okay.
the 13th, be okay?
Yes.
Mr. Otake, agreeable?
August 13th.
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
So August 13th at 8:30 will be the sentencing in this case. Mr. Garner, is there anything else you want to take up on record?
There is one thing, Your Honor. I'm unsure if we place this on record during the closing argument portion. After the state's closing argument, the state was made aware of a case that came out in 2025 that required the state to ask that a portion of the state's closing argument be stricken.
I did.
Was that placed on the record or was it an off-record discussion?
It was on record.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was on record. Thank
And I
you.
gave the curative instruction to the jury right away.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Otake, anything else you want to take up before adjourning?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Colin, thank you very much.
We respect the verdict. We respect that the jury did their job, considered the evidence, and came to a verdict that they thought fit the evidence and fit the burden of proof on all sides in this case. So that's all I can say about that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Joe. We just begin by thanking the jury. We respect their verdict. That being said, we believe leading up to trial and during trial there are many appellate issues, and we do plan on appealing.
The jury rejected attempted murder and gave attempted manslaughter instead. I want to know what you think. Was that the right call? Or did Gerhardt Konig get away with something much worse than what he was convicted of? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe for more psychological deep dives into criminal behavior.